Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I am the Poverty Princess. Today I am making much awaited, long anticipated pierogi lasagna. Now, I'm including this video in my Dollar Tree food blog because this is a 100% Dollar Tree meal using only Dollar Tree food items. Where I am using something a little bit different, I will tell you that there is a Dollar Tree substitute for it. For example, I call mine fully loaded because I add some diced tomatoes and chilies in mine, along with crumbled bacon. While Dollar Tree doesn't have the microwave bacon, they do often sell crumbled bacon bits, so you could make that substitute. And at the end of the video, we're going to figure out what this meal could cost with the least amount of items, as if you want to go fully loaded like me with the most. Either way, you can feed 3 people with a pan of this pierogi lasagna. Now, not all Dollar Trees carry this lasagna. You may not find it in one, but see it in another. To make this a truly Dollar Tree meal, you would need to grab this brand. This is Columbia. Now you'll notice it says on the label, no boiling required. And that is true. But you don't just want to take these noodles out of the box, layer them in a pan, and then start adding the mashed potatoes. Because what's probably going to happen, which is what happened to me, is some areas softened with baking and others were hard. What we're going to do with these noodles is steam them. Not boil them, not cooking them, just steaming them for several minutes. So they're not as hard, they're a little easier to lay out in a pan, and they're a little easier to fill. So here's what I'm going to do. Putting my light on over the oven. I'm turning on my water. I'm going to let it get to a little bit below high, and then I'm going to take several of these noodles, arrange them in the strainer, and all I'm going to do is let them in for about 5 minutes. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take them out, put them on a pan where I have wax paper on, and add a few more. This is honestly the only part of the meal that takes a few minutes to do, because everything else is super easy and the baking time isn't that long either. As I said, we're not boiling them, we're not cooking them. I just want to soften them up a little bit. This will ensure that when it is covered and baking, you won't wind up with any hard pieces, hard edges, as I did when I didn't do this step. Alrighty, so I have 6 noodles in here. I should only be doing this 2 more times, and these will all be done. I'm going to use this size pan. I know that sounded scary, but actually it wasn't that bad. I just have other cake pans and things on top of it. I'm going to use this pan. This pan works comfortably. When these are actually steamed and they're a little softened, I can actually press them down in the pan and comfortably layer these. If you want to use a glass square casserole pan, you can also do that. They're usually a little bit wider than this pan, so you would simply be adding another row, and possibly yours might only have 2 layers instead of 3. I'm going to try to go for 3. Sometimes I do 2, sometimes I do 3. It honestly just depends how they lay in the pan. But either way, it comes very good. So as I said, I'm going to be using some diced tomatoes or habaneros. I don't have the mild, so I'm going to be using hot. These really are not that bad. They had for us just a little bit of kick to the meal. Not earth-shatteringly hot, nothing like that, but they do add a little bit of kick to it, and that's why I call it fully loaded. I have my seasonings, my oregano, parsley, basil, my black pepper and salt, and my 2 packs of Velveeta cheese sauce. Very, very important, because this gets added to the mashed potatoes when they are prepared. Add this right afterwards, as soon as it comes off the burner, and these definitely give the mashed potatoes an extra cheesier flavor and also smooth the texture a little bit. Depending on what kind of mashed potatoes you use from Dollar Tree, the Ore-Ida ones are, I think, the absolute best. They taste so close to actual homemade mashed potatoes, but if your Dollar Tree does not have them, and you have to use, a different kind, these also help with, like, the texture and, I don't know, just sort of like maybe help blend the mashed potatoes better. And as I said, the mashed potatoes, Dollar Tree has small boxes of Ore-Ida, and they also have small bags as well. That's the brand I got that I always try to go for. But if in the event you go and they don't, you can use something else. Just, remember that you have to add the Velveeta cheese sauce to it for the extra cheesy flavor. Now, if you cannot find the Velveeta cheese sauce, I don't know what to say, because I didn't try this recipe with the Velveeta blocks. I really don't know how that would come with the mashed potatoes. I know that it melts and everything and has a good taste, but I have not personally used them. So for that, I don't quite know, and I really can't say. I've only used these packets, and these work really, really good. That's all I can vouch for. All right, so I'm going to let this water get to a boil and start steaming my noodles. I will be back when the noodles are all done steaming, and I will have prepared the mashed potatoes, and I'll show you guys the next step. I wanted to show you guys quick. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I just wanted to show you guys quick. I have 3 pieces already in the pan. I didn't have any cooking spray, so I just used some of the butter spread I have and greased the bottom and sides of the pan pretty good. Now when I say steaming, so it's a little bit, softer, that's what I mean. They'll fit easy in the pan. It lays really nice. It's not, cooked, but steamed. Gives you that little bit of flexibility in laying it out and everything, and also it helps prevent hard pieces from not baking and softening in the oven when this goes in to bake. Alrighty, so all my noodles are steamed. They're cooling on the pan. They came really good, and it didn't take all that long. I want to say 15 minutes tops, because as soon as I took noodles out of the strainer, I put new noodles right in, so I was rotating them. It was about 15 minutes top, as I said. That is the only step that is really time consuming. So now I'm going to make my mashed potatoes. You're going to need to make the whole small box or the 2 small bags, depending on what you get at Dollar Tree. You're going to need enough mixture to be able to spread on top of several layers of lasagna noodles. So I'm going to start my mashed potatoes. I just added 2 cups of water. Let's see, I need 3 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to use this spread that I have. A little bit healthier using that than the butter anyway. So I'm just going to add 3 tablespoons of that. And of course I will be adding my salt and bringing this to a boil. The usual method of making mashed potatoes. Many of us could probably make them with their eyes closed. We are pros at instant mashed potatoes, you know. Add a little bit of salt. And this is almost ready to boil, so I'll be adding in 2 cups of my potato flakes. Now, being that this is a small box, I'm assuming that it's going to be the whole box. I do believe it will be. It looks like it. So according to this is going to be enough mashed potatoes for 6 servings. That really should be enough to layer a nice thin layer on top of these noodles, because you can layer it as high as you want. I usually do mine 3. I've done it 4. It just depended on like the noodles and how much mixture I had. So it's really up to you how many layers deep you want to actually make it. Alright, this is already going down, and this was the same pot, incidentally, that I was steaming my noodles in, so you don't need to dirty another pan or anything. Alrighty, so it's my measuring cup and 2 cups of flakes. Okay. I might be wrong. That is not the whole box. That's about half the box. Alright, so what I'm going to do is make this amount of the potatoes up. I will do a layer of the pierogi lasagna, and then I'll make the rest of the box. Same method, 2 cups water, half a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of the butter, the oil spread, and some milk, and then I will finish layering it that way. So, note to self, if you are making the box mashed potatoes, the directions do not completely tell you that it is actually for half of the box, not the whole box. So I would just go ahead and double the amount of water, milk, and butter, and then make the whole box. So I am whipping this with the fork lightly. Careful not to scratch the bottom of my pot. I really like this cookware, and I don't want to so I'm just really whipping like the top of the potatoes. Alright, and now I'm going to add my milk. I've seen how steamed up my windows are from steaming the noodles, and it was just a little bit funny. 3/4 of a cup. Alrighty, I can pretty much guesstimate here. I'm going to switch over and use my wooden spoon with this. I just feel better than using my fork. I don't know, yeah. I don't want to damage this coating inside my pot. Alright, well, since this worked out for me that I'm doing half, I'm going to use this pot. One package then of the Velveeta, and I'll use the other package of the Velveeta cheese sauce in the next batch of mashed potatoes I make. So I'm going to stir that in. Now this is the jalapeno. This happens to be what the Dollar Tree that I was at had. You know, by all means, you can use the regular Velveeta. And if you can't find it in Dollar Tree, Dollar General does sell the Velveeta pouches in a box. I think it's 3 pouches in a box for $2.50, I do believe. I know I bought it from Dollar General on occasion. I think that's how much it costs. I know it's not that much. And just stirring that pouch of Velveeta right into those mashed potatoes. Smells good. Tastes really good. Now, the texture of your potatoes is a personal preference as well. Some folks like them to be a little creamier. Some folks like them to be a little, I don't want to say drier, a little stiffer. I don't really have a preference per se. These are on the creamy side, and that's perfectly okay with me. That is going to turn out just fine. So now I'm going to open up this can of tomatoes and habaneros, and I'm going to strain it. I'm only going to add maybe like half of this can in with this batch of mashed potatoes, and add the rest of the can in with the other batch. I'm also going to microwave what little bit of bacon I have. That's just optional. That's something I wanted to. Alrighty guys, I got everything done. Got a little bit of microwave bacon. I have some crumbled up in with this pot of mashed potatoes. And I'm going to start layering and filling what I can. Then I will make another batch, use up the rest of the box of mashed potatoes, and continue filling. When it's all ready to go in the oven, I'm going to show you how it looks. So, I have this all stirred up. I got a little bit of my tomatoes and habaneros in here. I have my seasonings, my parsley, basil, cilantro, and I got a little bit of bacon in here. Lost my train of thought for a moment, guys. Alright, so I'm just putting like a decent amount in, and you want to spread it out so that it covers from one side of the pan to the other. Doesn't need to be a super thick layer, but you just definitely want to have all the noodle covered. And I said, you don't need to pack it on. It can be a nice smooth layer, thin, but you definitely just want all the noodle covered. And then once you have that first layer done, just start adding more noodles on top and repeat the process. Now, as I said, I did not know this particular box of mashed potatoes, that actually it made 12 servings and not 6. If I had known that, I would have just made the whole big box in the pot. I wasn't sure. So if it's not clear on the bagged mashed potatoes, assume that, you know, it probably does make the whole bag. You just have to double the water and butter. So with another layer of noodles on top, you just repeat the process and keep repeating the process. Now, some of you might be wondering, I'm expecting it in the comments, how does this come with real mashed potatoes? Well, you're going to be surprised to hear I did try that with real mashed potatoes, and guess what? It wasn't as good. I don't know why. I could not for the life of me figure out what the difference was, why it worked out like that. I don't know. If anything, I think they were like too stiff, and I don't know. It just didn't turn out the same. I'm not going to say it tasted bad. It didn't taste bad, but it just didn't have the same consistency, I want to say, as using boxed potatoes. For the life of me, I could not figure it out, but trust me when I say that, yeah, you're better off just doing it this way with the mashed potatoes. It just does come better. Alright, so this was able to do 2 layers. So I'm going to make the remaining mashed potatoes up, doing the same thing, adding the tomatoes and cheese and everything. Get that ready to go, and we're going to finish up this lasagna. By then the oven's done preheating. We're going to put this baby in the oven. Alrighty guys, I was able to do 4 layers. Also in the very top layer, before you put the last strip of noodles on, you could, if you want to, maybe add some shredded Mexican blend cheese, or maybe, you know, particular shredded cheese you'd like. That also makes it super tasty too, that very top layer. It's going in a 350 oven for 25 minutes. I have it wrapped on top so the noodles don't dry out, and we're going to be cutting into this in a little bit. Alrighty guys, I just want to recap quickly the cost of this meal. A box of lasagna noodles from Dollar Tree, 2 pouches of cheese sauce Velveeta, and a box or bag of instant mashed potatoes should run you no more than $4. As always, it's good to check your pantry or your cupboards, because sometimes you have things you can use and therefore you don't have to go out and buy items. I based the cost of this meal on a person already having some milk and butter, so that wouldn't be have to add it into the total cost as well. If you did need to purchase these items from Dollar Tree, they do sell pints, and they do have soft butter as well as stick. That would be an extra $2 for you right there. The Rotel, I used to often get that from my food pantry. I didn't always have to buy it. So you could substitute a small can of diced tomatoes in place of the Rotel as well, or skip that. as I said, this is my version of fully loaded pierogi lasagna. You might just go with the cheese and the potatoes and have a perfectly delicious meal all the same. Also, again, if you do want to add some crumbled bacon, don't have any. Some Dollar Trees do have the bacon bits. Some have them in a little container. Some have them in like a small bag. Depends on the Dollar Tree. You would have to actually look. So the more add-ins you put in this meal, of course the cost is going to go up. But the very basic, simple version of it would be $4. The lasagna, box or bag of instant mashed potatoes, and 2 packets of Velveeta cheese sauce. Not all that bad to actually feed 3 people. That's what makes this a definite Dollar Tree food-worthy vlog meal. Alrighty guys, I took it out of the oven. I have 2 pieces for myself, and this is how it looks. So I am going to be cutting in and eating. If you like this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit my subscribe button. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting my channel. I would not have a growing channel if it wasn't for each and every one of you guys. I love you all. You really rock. Thank you so much for the support. I will see you all tomorrow. My first Valentine's DIY, Victorian era inspired. I think you guys might like it, and it's easy, and it's going to be very pretty. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Have a great evening. Bye.